Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm pretty much going to be doing a Dark Souls Remastered playthrough, the main game and the DLC. Um, and I know it's 2020, this game's been out for 9 years now, or if not about 9 years. But honestly, I don't have shit else to do, so I'm just going to make a little series, I guess. And I guess the way this playthrough will be directed, I guess, or how the premise of it is going to be I'm going to play the game how I would play it if I were a beginner, or if I were to direct somebody that hadn't played the game before, if I were to show them how to play the game, how I would make it easiest for them to finish the game. So basically, it's just going to have a few tips and tricks on how to make the game a little bit easier on yourself if you just want to say that you finished the game without actually, exploring 100%, which doesn't really do the game justice because a lot of the best stuff in this game is stuff that you have to, kind of go out of your way to find, and you have to take your time and explore. But when I first played the game, I was really just worried about actually finishing the game itself. And then I fully became immersed in the game later on, like closer to the end of the game. And after I beat it the first time, I started playing more and more, and then slowly started taking my time and appreciating the game for all that it was instead of just, trying to finish it. So, um, yeah, with that said, this is pretty much just kind of honestly, it's just going to be a casual playthrough with some tips and tricks along the way. There's not going to be too strong of a narrative here or anything that I'm really going for. So, yeah, so let's get into it. Let's see, what will we name this? Huh. We'll name nuts. Uh huh. So as far as being the, I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel weird explaining this to this game, seeing as how it's been out for so long. People that are actually going to take the time to watch this are probably already immersed in the Souls community, so they know all of the ins and outs of the game. I'm just going to talk about it like, if there's any people that actually haven't played the game before and are interested at this point in playing the game, then maybe it'll, help them out. But as far as classes go, I would probably pick. The warrior is definitely just a well-rounded class as far as, because you have decent vitality, good endurance, even strength and dex. So you can kind of pick which route you want to go. I never use magic, so I don't even consider intelligence and strength. I know it kind of makes up a large part of what the game is. However, it's just never been my thing. And especially for a beginner, you probably wouldn't spend much time trying to work with magic. I feel like the easiest magic to work with is probably pyromancies, and you can use any class for, pyromancies. But I think when I first played the game, I chose a thief because I, for some reason, thought that stealth actually mattered in this game, and it really doesn't in the grand scheme of things. But I feel like it's more for experienced players because, if you're new to the game, you're not going to know how bleed works unless you played other Souls titles before. And as far as parrying goes, if you're very new to the series, you're not going to be able to parry off gate. And if you do, you're a god. Bandit is pretty good, but I would say for all around for quality, Knight or Wanderer. But I don't want a fat, or I don't want a mid roll, so I'm just gonna go with the Warrior. Actually, the Wanderer is good too. Now that I think about it, but I'm just gonna go with the Warrior. The Gift, always use the Master Key. You probably know this even if you hadn't played the game. If you've seen other people play the game, the Master Key is 100% the way to go. It's not, it doesn't make or break the game. It doesn't make the game extremely easy, and the lack thereof doesn't make it really hard. It's convenient, especially if you're a new player. So, Average build doesn't matter. People might have talked about this. I'm not sure if having a slimmer character affects the hitbox at all, but I highly doubt that it does. And even if it did, it would be such a slim margin that it wouldn't matter. And this is Dark Souls 1, so the hitbox isn't really as sharp as it is in, you know, say Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3, especially Dark Souls 3. The hitbox in that game is amazing. And Sekiro. None of this matters. Like, your appearance of your character does not at all affect the Delta Farmer. The ponytail, of course. Actually, not. Semi-long. And we'll go... Let's do gold. Here. Okay. Let's start getting with this character. I'm gonna skip the cutscene because... Actually, no. Let's watch it. Let's watch the cutscene.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog.
Also, forgive me if my audio is really low. I'm using Turtle Beaches as the mic, and I've never actually used a capture card to record gameplay or record a commentary in my life. I've done a few tests, and I think I've got it about as good as I'm going to get it for the amateur level that I'm at right now, but, you know, I'm hoping to be able to buy a better mic and kind of work on my setup a little bit more as we go along, and, you know, hopefully the video quality comes out okay. I uploaded a test. You'll probably find on the channel if I don't take it down by now. I uploaded a test earlier, and the quality on YouTube was worse than the quality of the video on my computer, like straight from the capture card. And I'm assuming that has to do with, you know, the processing and uploading. But we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm just aiming to start at this point. I'm not aiming for, you know, theatric quality. Theatrical.
And her daughters of chaos.
Ignore me.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights, and the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
I just gotta think, and I actually really want to play Demon Souls. I want to play Demon Souls so bad. I wonder if I can actually download it on. It's probably got to do PlayStation Now, and just the idea of streaming games does not
Yes,
sound like it
indeed.
would be fun or
The dark
feasible at all.
side brands the
Especially considering
undead,
the internet in my apartment is trash. So maybe when I move into my new place in the fall,
and in this
I'll be able to
land,
try that out.
the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Does the game ever explain how we end up in the Undead Asylum? Like, do we just wander here? Or I guess the Asylum Demon might have tossed our ass in here, but I mean, no, on top of that, but if I'm not mistaken, Lordran is up to the north. The Undead Asylum is to the north. But if the gods fear the undead and, you know, humans, then why is the asylum that all the undead are corralled to also in the north? Why wouldn't they place it in a polar opposite region of the world? Not entirely sure. Dungeon cell key. Key to the dungeon of the undead asylum to the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse down into the cell, and on this person was this key. Who was this knight? What was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. We got our bucket. Shit bucket. It's not showing up. Or was that the pot? I don't know. Anyways, it's not important. My teeth hurt like a bitch. I just got braces today. So, also dealing with that. Trying to distract myself from the pain, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I guess for any new players, this is a mid-roll. I prefer to not. I always prefer to fast roll, just because you probably wouldn't notice the difference, especially if you're very new. But to an experienced player, most players prefer to fast roll anyways. And it's to the point where, you know, as you progress into like NG plus, you know, NG plus 7, you take so much damage regardless of the armor that you're wearing that a lot of people just skip the armor altogether, since you probably have a good chance of getting one shot by every attack anyways as far as bosses go. And they would prefer to fast roll other than have like the extra, you know, minuscule defense. But so I'm actually gonna. All right, now we're fast rolling. See, if you don't know the difference, it's like the mid roll. You kind of, it's a little bit slower. And this is the fast roll. And your character jog speed is actually affected too. You know, just some slight details. If we look up, you can actually see the Asylum Demon. And, you know, whereas if you're new to the game, you're not going to think to look up there, right? But, so this is supposed to be a surprise attack, but, you know, you also have the, this right here. Oh shit, he actually fell. Ooh, I dodged that just in time. Yeah, run straight here. Every time I've ever had a friend play the game, and I'm watching them, they never figure out what to do, and I cannot hold myself back from telling them to run into this room. I feel like it's part of the the learning process. Is, you know, you die, then you figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do, and then you figure out, oh, I can run to the side, but I spoil it because I'm awful. But I'm really eager about this game. I want people to like it, but people never end up liking the game as much as I do. There's very few friends that I have that actually enjoyed this game as much as me. Which is a shame, because I would love for people to enjoy the game and people to play with. But it's, some people just can't get past the learning curve, and it's also some people just don't like the style of this game, you know? Some people just really aren't into the just the genre, even the type of game it is in general. Oh, we're still, okay, you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna wear the pants. But most of the friends that I have that don't really care for the game, don't really dislike it due to the difficulty, they just don't like fantasy RPG style video games, whereas my friends that like it happen to like that genre of game. And if you like RPGs, then chances are you can get past the learning curve of Dark Souls. You know, whereas if you don't like RPGs or fantasy games, you're just not even going to attempt to get good at this game.
Oh, you. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
No.
Regrettably, but perhaps there was an old saying.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Now I must be. I would hate to harm you.
I like how this is. I don't know, I just skipped that dialogue completely. I'm sorry, but I just got to thinking. I like how he says it's an old saying in his family, yet in this universe it is pretty much expected of every undead to make pilgrimage to the north and seek the first flame to kindle it or link it. Like, it's an old saying in my family, as if it's like just a family saying that only, you know, most people wouldn't have heard of. And it turns out that's kind of the entirety of the propaganda of the gods is to convince an undead to link the flame. But then again, I could have something completely wrong. Like, I could misunderstand or be, because I did skip the dialogue, I could be misremembering the dialogue, or, you know, some bullshit. But, you know, let me know what you guys think. Should anybody actually, should people be actually watching these videos? I'm not entirely sure if anybody's going to care to watch a Dark Souls playthrough in 2020, but, you know, you never know. You never know. People might, people probably still are enjoying the game this late. In fact, the community is pretty active. I still get invaded to this day. My last character I sure did, and I finished that like a week ago. Lord, I really hope this sound's coming out okay. I hope like my voice is actually audible. Okay. Yeah. I was just trying to remember if I actually parried this dude. I did not even think twice when I was going on that rant. I do not remember if I parried him. But for new players, you probably won't be able to do that, so I probably should kind of play a little bit, how would I say, I don't want to say like a rookie, but play a little bit more realistically for somebody that hadn't played the game before. So if I parried him, I'll explain how to do it for other enemies, because I feel like this is an important skill to learn, because you're gonna need it at some point. So for this boss, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to just do a jumping attack, so forward R2 at the same time, and it'll just land him. Now, I thought about, you know, stay away from that because it will actually stun you even if it doesn't hit you directly. Yeah, I thought about taking the time to stand up there and explain, but you actually have to jump down pretty quickly, or within like a certain time frame. You can't stand up there for a whole minute because he will eventually knock you down. Like, he will jump up and knock you off of that, so. if I remember correctly, this is the game where the backdrop actually captures a ski slope. Is that it? Right above our character's head, that little line? Or is it somewhere else? I've never been able to find it. I'm pretty sure it's this though. Like they use some kind of photograph backdrop. Regardless. We're far to the north. No sign of other civilization anywhere for miles. Kind of wonder how we got here if it wasn't, you know. Kind of wonder how we got here. Yeah, whatever. Here we see Undead Burger will actually go, the bridge, the old church and the parish, the aqueduct, and finally Shrine with no tree, which we'll see in a second actually exists, just not in the cutscene. See, no tree, and no tree. Now, if you're gonna do the game, kind of, there's, I want to say 3 to 4 traits that you're going to want to focus on as far as like definite parameters to level up. Vitality, endurance, and then either strength or dex. If you're doing a magic build, then is it, you know, of course you're gonna, if you're doing a sorcery, if you want to focus on sorcery, you're gonna use intelligence, faith for miracles, and attunement to boost your to increase the amount of spells you can have on your character at a given time. We're not going to use magic, so it really won't apply to us. We might use some pyromancy, probably not. If we do, it'll be like 1 or 2. As far as picking between strength and dexterity, so your strength weapons are going to be your, your great swords, great axes, heavy weapons. Hit hard, cost a lot of stamina for each swing. Dexterity is going to be your quick weapons, lighter, but you can hit a lot more in a quicker amount of time. You leave your character less exposed. I'm going to do a strength build most likely. Maybe a quality build, maybe a mix of both. So we can level up 3 times. So I'm going to do 1 into strength and 2 into vitality. Just because our endurance is actually 12 right now, so it's not horrible. This dude...
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead as... Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land, the undead.
Our character looks like we just don't give a shit. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention about endurance is that increasing endurance also increases your equipment burden, or your equipment load cap. So how your character burden, the way your character moves, is based off of a certain percentage of your equipment load, I believe. And so increasing your endurance will also increase the attribute, so you can wear heavier items the more you increase your endurance. If you're new, the mistake everybody makes, I made this mistake. I think it's pretty universal that this actually happens. Don't go this way. I know there's items, there's also skeletons, they'll fuck you up and parry you. Don't go this way. Just don't. Just take my word for it, because we'll be going there later. And you'll see why. But hopefully by the time we actually get there, we won't actually, it won't be a problem for us. Yeah, just don't do it. It can lead to a spot that you might not be able to get out of, quite literally. Okay. I'm gonna try not to parry. Do a kick. So the forward R1 together is a kick. You can, enemies are blocking, especially lower level enemies. A kick will break their guard. I'm trying to fish the backstab. It's really easy to fish backstabs in this game compared to other games. This game is so easy. The backstab range is just ridiculous. Oh my god. Goodbye. Okay. Alright, so for parrying, always going to want to parry right whenever the, I can't remember who actually had this specific tip, or maybe it's just the general word of advice that most people give. Maybe it was Epic Name Bro, you know, back whenever he used to upload videos on that channel. He actually uploads Twitch streams, but how parrying works in this game and the way it's done, an easy way to kind of, I guess, the easy way to parry, the method is to look at the enemy's hand and not necessarily their weapon. And right whenever the hand itself is about to hit you, that's whenever you're going to want to parry with L2. Certain shields give you a larger parry window. The animation might throw you off, because it did whenever I first used, I think, the target shield. The animation's different, but regardless, it gives you a little bit more time before the attack hits you and after to hit the parry. So if you still time it right, like you time it with a regular shield, and you become comfortable with that, once you use one of the one of those smaller shields that enhances the parry window, it'll be a piece of cake. All right, so let's see. The easiest attack for that I find to parry are thrust attacks, not that. The long thrust attack, like the running one. Well, we'll just use a regular swing. We'll use whatever comes our way. I don't like that. Okay, apparently not that. Right there. In the riposte, so after you parry an opponent, the riposte is always going to do more damage. Do more damage compared to a backstab. I'm sorry. Ring of Sacrifice. That'll be good if you die. When you're wearing it and you die, you don't lose your souls. And if you have like a your blood stain, say you've died before, your bloodstain is sitting somewhere, and then you put on the Ring of Sacrifice, and you die again, you won't lose the souls you had on your character before you died, but your bloodstain also won't move from your previous death. So, neat little double mechanic. Rats are a good source of humanity if you're farming. They drop the hard humanity. This actual item here, instead of the one in our counter on the top left. Any enemy in an area before you defeat the boss has the chance to drop soft humanity, which will just go It'll be a little black blob absorbed into your character like the souls that enemies dropped. It will increase your counter. But rats do drop the hard humanity, like the actual item itself. Okay, time to quit playing like a scrub. I'm trying to focus on talking and actually playing at the same time, so usually I just kind of black out and like my mind goes blank and I just play the game and think. Having to talk is very new to me. Talk while playing the game. So I don't know if there's any items in here. I don't think there are. Not in the lower level. Well, there's actually some stairs up there and a message. So of course they're broken here. What? No, I just got up there. Try that again. Yeah, I saw that, right? Like I actually made it like up the stairs when I rolled. There we go. Yeah, but you can't go anywhere from here, so. Alright. Don't try this. You won't make it. And stand right here whenever that dragon flies across. If you run too quick, he'll actually stomp the fuck out of you. Made that mistake before. I think even if you get close enough to where he doesn't directly stomp on you, he'll still do some damage or at least stun you, and it's just aggravating, if not deadly. Is that already a dragon sign? The Dragon Covenant? That's crazy. Boom. Goodbye. And my little a little rule of thumb that I use: if you find yourself in a situation like this right here, where you have a ranged enemy along with close combat enemies like melee enemies, I always try and take out the ranged enemy first, and then deal with the close combat enemies. But if you play video games, it's probably your general instinct. Because Dark Souls is not the only game that utilizes that tactic of enemy placement, but these guys, best to deal with them with parrying, or miss it like me. The best way to parry these guys, instead of them backing up, you're gonna want them to walk side to side on you. They'll stop to change the side, like right here. And you can just parry them. Timing this is actually really easy, but they do hit hard, so. And you can kick them like I did the enemy earlier, do some quick attacks, but very good practice for parrying those enemies, and they're so close to the bonfire too. Watch out for this guy. Merchant ahead, of course.
Well now, then you
Okay. So, a couple things. Dried finger, I don't know if it works the same. Okay, yeah, summon additional phantom. Okay. Yeah, so it works the same as in the other Souls games. You use a dried finger, you can summon an extra phantom. So normally you can only summon 2 friendlies at one time, or invaders. But if you use the dried finger, you can summon a 3rd one. Gravelord Servant. Damn, it's active as hell. I did not think that it was going to be active. But low-level people usually they try and invade low-level players in the burg. It's kind of cruel. Residence key is not something we have to buy because we have the master key. So. Orange soapstone if you want to leave messages. And we have some neat little weapons here. As far as strength goes, the club might be the best option. But if you're a new player, the Uchi Katana is probably your best bet, and you get it from killing this merchant.
Things are getting treacherous. Go.
And I think it's actually worth it to kill him as soon as possible, because you get the residence key and the substone. The only thing you don't really get is a repair box, but you can buy the repair box from any blacksmith. But I'm just gonna kill him now. I would recommend doing that
Throw him right you.
because chances are, actually no. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back because it took me so long to finish just the Undead Burg. It took me so many tries. Unlike other Souls games, in this game, your weapon does not restore as soon as you rest at a bonfire. You have to repair it or upgrade it for the durability to restore. This guy sells you a repair box and repair powder, which is good game design from Soft's part, because as a new player, you're going to keep using the same weapon and keep dying in the same area, and your durability will decrease. Your weapon will break. You're going to want to buy a repair box. I'm not going to do that. Or at least some repair powder. I'm not going to do that because I'm confident that we can get to the blacksmith or a different weapon before we will need to repair a weapon. But for a new player, that's probably a worthy investment.
Gone mad, have you?
This dude's good practice for parrying too, except his moveset with Uchi Katana is kind of weird.
Julia!
Like, his moveset is different than what the actual weapon gives, like, our player character. But he's easy to kill. Let's circle around. One more R2 should do it. Nope. Iframe. Residence Key, Dried Finger, Humanity, Orange Soapstone, and Uchi Katana. Go through here. Down here. Here. Yeah, these guys will actually fuck you up. Not only the broken sword hollows, but the torch hollows as well. They will mess you up. They do really high attack. Not much for defense, but they hit hard. See, we just absorbed soft humanity. I don't know if you saw the black cloud or the number go up in the top left, but we just absorbed soft humanity because we killed an enemy in the area where the boss was not defeated. That is the one requirement. I'm not sure if there's any enemy types that are actually excluded from the from dropping soft humanity. I'm pretty sure every single enemy. See the firebomb hollows up there. I'm not sure if any enemy in the game is actually excluded, or if any enemy in the game can drop it, or if there's certain ones that are excluded, but most enemies have the potential to drop soft humanity. Because you can't get through. Again, I'm sorry if my voice keeps fading in and out. I'm working with Turtle Beaches, so my mic quality can only be so good. We're actually not going to want to go back. We're going to want to drop down here, because if you look, you can actually see an area that we haven't been, and a ladder we haven't climbed. Who the hell are you? Oh, he climbs up here, actually. Yep. Okay. See a sneaky little area. There was a long time after I had played this game that I never knew about this little drop down. Like, years. I had played this game for years and I never knew about it. You learn more stuff about this game every single day. Like the other day, or maybe today, or yesterday, I was watching Epic Name Bros from the Dark playthrough, which is pretty much his complete walkthrough, lore through Dark Souls playthrough. And you can see the hollow hanging. And he demonstrated that there are walls in the Ulusil Township in the DLC that a hidden wall that is activated by light. And I actually never knew that was a thing. And I had just played through the DLC, and I'd been playing this game since 2012, 2013. So this game was only out for a couple of years. I've been playing this game 4 years, but you know, you learn new stuff every day. Then again, I hadn't played the DLC but like 3 times. Try to keep our distance from these guys because they're dangerous. And just a apology in advance. I'm kind of thinking about it while I'm playing. I think my commentary is gonna change. What died? It's weird. I think my commentary is gonna shift from a beginner tutorial towards just a gameplay that you can watch as a beginner with tips and tricks. I probably have said that a million times, but I think I'm gonna stray away a little bit from the let's not go back down here. I think I'm gonna stray away a little bit from just over-explaining things to kind of letting you see at a demonstration. And if you have any questions, I can explain them, assuming anybody will at this point. Like I might just look in the comments section, and if you guys have any specific questions, I can either answer them in the comments or in the next video. I can kind of demonstrate, you know. But there are plenty of, frankly, better sources of information. I'm just explaining this from a random player's perspective and everything that I know, and a lot of it, I don't want to say anything that I've said so far is completely wrong, but there's somebody that can explain it better than me and probably more truthfully than I can, because I might have incorrect theories. And like I said, I hardly delve into the magic aspects of the game. So there's other aspects of the game that I really don't know much about. So as far as mechanics go, but I'm gonna do my best. If you just want to play the game, this should be the series for you. I'm going to put some points into endurance. That's what I said I would do. Don't ever level up a resistance. Explanation. Parameter boosting defense and resistance to poison. Literally useless. Because regardless of how much resistance you have, you're still going to get poisoned. And you could be putting those points into much more useful things, because there's like all of 2 areas in the game that actually poison is a major threat. Maybe just 1 area. Maybe just Blighttown. This guy's going to aggro on us. We're not going to go back there, though. We don't really need to. Why am I not getting the backstab? Maybe I'm blocking for too soon after I hit or attack. Damn, I thought I rolled. Oh, that stunned me. What's up? Goodbye. Yeah, if you're circling around an enemy and you go around and then you attack like straight from the block, right? You might not get the backstab, but if you let your character return to a neutral position and then attack, you'll usually get the backstab. It's kind of a delay. That's kind of how the clunkiness of this game, being that it's the first in its series, well, not true. Dark Souls series, yes, but Demon Souls. It's a precursor to Dark Souls. The mechanics of those games are more similar than of Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. And Dark Souls 2 is its own damn anomaly. But, yeah, these games are kind of clunky to where you kind of have to get a feel for how the mechanics actually work as far as the finer parts of the mechanic, like finer parts of, finer aspects of the mechanics and physics go. Talking is not my strong suit. I'm actually kind of using the series as a bit of a home remedy for speech therapy, I guess, because my speech, as I've gotten older, has gotten a lot worse and deteriorated. It feels like my tongue is too big for my mouth sometimes. But, what was I talking about? I forgot. Yeah, these games are kind of clunky. You have to kind of develop a muscle memory for certain aspects of it. Oh my god. That could have been deadly. Oh no. Oh no. This never happened. You can get under here? I never knew that. Don't try and drop down there. You'll die. You're not meant to be there. There we go. I mean, you can land there too, but there's literally no need to be there. You don't actually get any item from there, so. In this little archer nest, we can see a tough spot down there. Looks like it's darker garden, bridge, parish, and Orlando. I'm tired of this Gravelord servant shit, and I might just go back to default offline. Use residence key. Yeah, this is the door that the residence key is used for. There might be... I think there's one in Lower Undeadburg as well. I think it's just those two. But if you don't get the residence key, like if you don't purchase it from the merchant or kill him, then the master key will actually open this. But it will not open up the door in Lower Undeadburg. If I remember correctly, that is what another door that the residence key is used for. If that's correct, then the point still stands that you cannot use the master key for that door. So, good strategy, lure everything out one by one. A little bit easier if you know how to parry and eliminate your enemies quick. Because if you're new to the game, you're probably just going to tank and they'll surround you before you actually take care of any of them. But if you just know how to parry off gate, then you know you'll have enough time to dispatch them. Black Knight here, we're not going to fight this guy. He'll whoop our ass. No. Ooh, I've actually forgotten about that. My last playthrough, I totally forgot about this right here. Yeah, there's a little item over here, isn't it? Is there not? I always thought there was... What am I thinking of? Is that just a trap? I thought there was an item, like a chest there. I'm tripping. My fault. I'm tripping. Yeah, I guess I am. Trap right here. Go to my back. He's gonna sprint at grass. That's actually the move right there that I love to parry. So you actually can land down here and then land that back there. Oh, shit. That is Dark Souls. I'm gonna end this video at, after we kill Taurus Demon. And then explore the rest of the burg. So now that we've died, true Dark Souls fashion, a bullshit fall death no less, where we slipped without moving. Gonna kill Taurus and then end the video here. Did we just pick up another soft humanity? We did. He actually stopped blocking right as that attack hit. That's why I did full damage. It might have looked like he actually blocked it, but he stopped blocking this split second that our attack hit him. Why are they aggroed? I swear, man, sometimes this game, every playthrough is different. Like, I swear the aggro ranges change on me every single time I play this game. Ooh, I got that paused off. The animation, I went to the animation right before he decided to hit me. Okay. Damn! Yeah, the spirit is about to fuck me up. Okay, back up, back up, back up. Okay, you're gonna heal too? Alright, he should bum rush us. I'm gonna get fireballed, okay. Alright. The Berg is actually whooping my ass. He should not have another flame barrel to throw. Yeah, that's kind of a one and done thing. Oh. Longsword. Oh, too bad we're fucking using that. Don't go here yet. If you're new, don't go there yet. Useful item that we could use like right now, yes. But like I was explaining about the muscle memory thing before, the enemy that you have to defeat to get that item, Havel, you're gonna want to be very comfortable with the backstab animation and the mechanics, because he can turn on you before you get it, and you think you got the backstab and you're not paying attention, and you did, and you just swung and he smacks you and one-shots you with that fucking dragon tooth. Yeah. Speak from experience. I think we all do. I'm gonna put on gold pine resin. Okay, this is the boss arena. Don't run up there. Turn right here. Slick little trap they got set up for you, with not one, but two archers. And they can actually hit you before you step off. You gotta walk away right as soon as you step off the ladder. Okay. If you can see him from here, the Taurus demon. You really can't. He's actually perched up there, but it's kind of funny. The way they have his model set up, he's like halfway through the little ceiling, the roof of that little tower, so that way you can't see him until you get really close. I think it'd be cool if you could actually see him standing up there, but you know, they went for the element of surprise, which I can respect. Alright. Lightning. Same thing as Silent Demon. Okay, I messed up. What I did while I was falling, I just pressed R1, so it kind of did the same thing. This is a bad spot to be in. Okay, we rolled past that. You can actually stun him if you hit him enough times in rapid succession. But gold pine resin makes quick work of the Taurus demon. Now, I will tell you one thing. One strategy people use to beat Taurus demon that actually happened to me on accident the first time I actually ever beat him, which I shouldn't have actually beat him, was if you're right here and you fight him, he can actually knock you off and be so aggressive that he'll jump down with you. And if he dies before you load out of the death screen, like you start retrieving his souls right before you load out, you'll actually like he'll die. Like it'll count as a victory for you. It happened to me. I could be wrong about how the timing of it. Like if you actually load out before you collect the souls from his death. I'm pretty sure that's how it works though. So if a boss dies that way, you have to start collecting his souls before you exit the "you died" screen. Yeah, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how that works. Yeah, fun little fact. I was trash at this game, and I had to use a guide to beat the entire game. And now I like to think I know the ins and outs of it pretty well. So, but I'm just a lazy person. It's not that I can't appreciate the game and its attention to detail. I'm just a lazy person. You know? But then I go back and take my time and appreciate it for what it is. But a lot of the beauty of this game is very first time you play it, you know, that very first experience, you just can't beat it. I used to get little waves of nostalgia whenever I heard certain sound effects from this game, but I don't do because I don't anymore because I play the game so much at this point that it's kind of been taped over in my head, all those old memories. But yeah, didn't mean to get sentimental that in, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you were able to hear my damn voice. Like, I know my mic quality is shit. I'm working on it, but if I have to speak louder, I will until I get a new mic. But yeah, that was Undead Burg. There's still more to explore in the Burg, actually, or at least kind of in between the areas. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.